Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm this here Strategy Gamer, and we are returning to Let's Play of Mars Horizons, where we're playing as NASA. It is 1958, and we have just put the first satellite into orbit as the United States. That's very great. Let's go to our third challenge, and that is animals in space. Of course, one that historically was also done by the Soviets, so let's see whether we can beat them. The first thing that we do need to do is actually research the mission parameters for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We are going to research that. That's fine. We can also look at our base and actually build mission control. Well, I would have hoped that we can, but we don't really have the funding. So yeah, there we go. Following your agency's launching the first artificial satellite, several foreign newspapers have claimed that the satellite represents a global security threat. Soviet Union have requested that we are going to... No, we are not. But we're actually gaining support because we have rejected them. So that is very nice to see. Yeah, we are not gonna give that away. Let's actually check out diplomacy here because I want to know what is happening here. So diplomacy with Soviets pretty bad, with everyone else kind of nice, especially with the Europeans. Okay, that does make some sense. Okay, we have a little bit more money, so I think now we should be able to build mission control, and I think that would be fairly lovely. Are we getting any adjacency bonuses? Yeah, we are pretty much getting adjacency bonuses from everything sort of, except for that maintenance facility there. No bonus here. 2 bonuses over there, 2 bonuses over here. So that's launch reliability and payload build cost. And this is payload build cost and launch reliability. This is actually simply better. Okay, fine. So let's build it over here. Unfortunately, though, there are some obstacles in the way. So we actually need 40,000. Well, that is a tad bit annoying. And up over here we can't actually build, so that's even more annoying. Wow. Okay, so let's actually wait a little bit until we have 400,000. I guess that's what we need to do here. Right, animals in space. The research has been completed, so that is fine. We could now go ahead and try to do that. Except we do need to actually research also the payload to that. So specifically, there's the mission itself, and then there's the payload that we do need to have that. So let's go ahead and do that. It's gonna have a mass of 500 kilos, so that does mean we'll also need to think about our other stuff. So specifically, we'll also need to think about an upper stage, because this one can only carry 15 kilos. So we will need to have either of these two, either Jupiter or Scout after that. Which one is it gonna be? Now this one has a much higher launch reliability, but it's also much more expensive. And it has higher mass. So yeah, let's cross that bridge when we come to it, once we have developed the other thing. So that is fine. China is going for the second artificial satellite over here. So that is interesting. Can we actually scroll around over here? No, we can't. We can just look at the moon. And there are some bonuses here, but yeah, for now we're going to be focused on the Earth, and that is going to be alright. Now, until we do get to the next thing, we could actually go ahead and conduct some further launches over here. Now this would give us more. All of these are going to give us somewhat the same. Challenging. This is experimental fuel. Science, but launch reliability is going to be extremely low on this one. Task requirements increased by 25%. Let's go ahead for the simple one over here, because I'm more confident in that one. So we're going to plan the mission here. This is going to be a sounding rocket, so basically just an atmospheric rocket. It's going to be simple enough. Costs are coming down slightly. That's good to see. We're going to build our vehicle and go to the solar screen next month. Next month again. And here's going to be the rocket. Sounding rocket, so we have built these before. Should be okay. Is it going to be no specific effect? Launch reliability is kind of okay too. So that's nice to see. In terms of training, we could go for science training, which is going to give us a slightly better boost. Or we could go for a reliability increase. I'm going to go for the science training here, because in the bonus mission I'm not as concerned that that is going to fail, and I think January start date is going to be fine. So yeah, let's confirm that and go back to the solar system. Next turn, race to space. The prospects of launching the first human into space is dominating the newspapers. Most have labelled it an impossible endeavour. Whilst the less skeptical outlets claim a rivalry agency are bound to get there first. No. We are going to enter that race and we are going to go for that as the first. So that's nice. Here's our second budget review. We are going to get to level 3, but not to level 4. That's okay though. We're going to get some more money and that is fine. And we have researched Eden. But before we go back into our main mission, let's try to get this out of the way here and see whether we can launch this mission over here. 56, yeah, excellent conditions. That's fine. We're going to launch immediately. And let's see what is going to happen over here. Because this is, this is just a support mission. Let's skip that and see what is going to happen on the next screen. So, where are we going to go? Ooh, that's looking good. Is that even bonus? Yes! Smooth takeoff, 50% more signs. That is fantastic. Very good result over here. And our sounding rockets have become even better, so that's even nicer. And we're going to get well, that's actually quite a bit of research that we are getting over here. Fantastic. Now, we could try to get to animals in space, but we really do need some further parts for that, right? Because we know that the upper stage is going to be 500 kilos. So we need either of these things down here, and that is going to weigh at least 1,000 kilograms as the upper stage. So we need a booster that is capable of launching either 1,000 or 1,200. If we're going for the heavier one, we do need the heavier one over here as well. The heavier one can of course propel the smaller one, but let's look at the costs over here. So the Jupiter rocket is almost twice as expensive. So that's almost 60,000 more per rocket. And it does have a higher capacity. So high capacity is 98. Yeah, we could go for the $200,000 option, or we could go for the $100,000 option. So that's almost twice as expensive. Now the big issue I have is the reliability on these things. Now reliability on the Jupiter is actually horrifically 3 months, 1 month. Now yeah, let's try to do, and these are also more difficult to research. Okay, let's try to be fast over here. I'm not sure it's the best choice, but we are going to go with the Scout upper stage. That's only 150 research that we do need to make over here. Does that actually carry over? Yeah, I think it does. And that's another 250 over here on the booster. On the other hand, we could go for Jupiter and... So Jupiter and Jupiter, is that right? Yeah, Jupiter and Jupiter would be much more expensive. Would have had higher initial reliability though. And you could actually also be higher reliability or lower reliability and much faster build times and cheaper. In terms of the booster, I'm actually slightly eyeing up the Algol because it is the more reliable, it's the less reliable option, but it does have more potential. That being said, I think we're going to go for the slightly more expensive option here because we are going to try to aggressively spend our money and get to be the first one in space. And I think that's alright. Yeah, so we are going to research that first. That's okay. We can still plan this mission because we can still at least build the payload and we're going to build the vehicle afterwards. So let's look at this. This is our first thing that is going to send an animal to space. We could go for various reduced payload capabilities here. We could also go for a much more expensive build on the cost, but for more power. Honestly, we're going to go for the standard selection over here. That is fine. Let's do build that and see what is going to happen. 2 months, that's fine. But firstly, we are going to research the Jupiter engine over here, and then the upper stage Jupiter as well. Right? Yeah, 65%. That is just simply much more reliable, so I think that's going to be fantastic, and we are going to pick that. Right. Radiation builds discovered. Oh, that's nice. Some bonus signs. Not really required right now, but still fine. And we should have the upper stage over here. So let's see whether that is going to work out for us. Any bonus? Support reward? Ooh, but reliability decrease. Well, that's difficult. But we can select the vehicle over there. Of course, we're going to select the payload that we know of. And then we can go for the upper stage. Now, the Viking over here, level 1, these guys would not be able to carry that because they are just the payload capabilities here, 15 kilos. That's just not way too little. So we're going to actually go for the Jupiter, of course, here. That should work out. So we're going to select that part, and as the booster, we're going to pick the single one that is currently capable of doing that. It's going to take quite some time to build that, and the launch reliability is still not great, but it's okay-ish. So yeah, let's go ahead and build that. It's pretty expensive, but that's fine. We are still running slightly shy on funding here, but we can do the next research. Lunar orbit would be useful. Research lab expansion. I think for now it's fine. We are pretty much spending research faster than we are using it. Oh, payload build cost reduced. That's a nice effect here. Yeah, okay, I think we are gonna... Are we gonna research that? We could also try to go for this one over here, which I think is kind of nice because, well, the Jupiter is less expensive. It is extremely reliability for... It has extreme high reliability for some missions. You know, for now that's fine. We are actually going to go for now and research this building. Just backup power generation I think is fine. Medium launch pad, astronaut training. Yeah, we don't need astronaut training for now, so that's fine. FDO available. Skilled Flight Dynamics Officer has become available. Hiring them for your agency would boost the launch reliability for the Animal in Space Mission Launch Vehicle Thotor by 20%. We're not going to hire him. 200,000, that I think is a little bit too much for what we have right now. So, yeah, I think that's just going to have to be okay. Let's look at the base, and I think would actually really like to build... Payload build cost it sounds nice, but 200,000, that does take some time to pay off. And I think mission control is just going to be more useful over here, so we're going to build that right away. It's going to cost us a fortune, but I think that's going to have to be okay. Right, research lab expansion, yeah, lovely idea. Lunar orbit, also kind of nice. Humans in space and satellite imaging. Do we actually know how much these things are going to weigh? 1,500, that's pretty high, isn't it? Can we carry that at all? No, we actually need a new rocket for that, so there's potentially very little point in doing that. You guys are potentially going to be a little bit cheaper, yes? 35 kilos, but we do need something that does reach to the moon. Okay, we're going to research that mission parameter. You can see there are a lot of guys in space now and having some orbits, so that's slightly concerning. ESA is going to launch in 10 months. That is also not great to know. We definitely want to be for them. UFO fever. Do we encourage speculation or dismiss speculation? Interest in space exploration would be lovely. Okay, let's do it. Let's encourage... Humanity must master space. Well, if it's going to give us more support, we are going to need the money to spend on various different things. So yeah, let's go ahead for that. And mission control and Thoth is going to be complete this turn around. So, let's see. And we're also thinking about next missions already. Here we go. This is the first real large mission that we have, I think. No effect in terms of the building. Let's go to the launch preparations here and see what we can do. So, we could do for payload reliability, we could go for launch reliability, or for science training. Now, the science that we are going to get from that is going to be fantastic anyway, but I'm concerned about whether the payload will be working, so we're going to actually increase the reliability on that one and pick a launch date. Now, the Soviets are actually very close to be achieving that, so we are going to actually go for October here right away, because otherwise I'm not sure that we're going to get here in time. Yeah, let's simply select October. Confirm this mission setup, go to the solar system. That's fine, we do have some money actually. So that's fantastic. And in terms of research, yeah, let's research the payload Pioneer over here. That's okay. And then in terms of our base, can we actually build the backup power generator now? I mean, at 200,000, that is something that we should be able to afford, shouldn't it? Oh, that's a huge... That's a very nice bonus over here. 2% reward for missions, vehicle build time, and vehicle build costs. Yeah, I like it. Let's build it right there in the middle. That's fine. We still have 200,000, and that is interesting because I think now we do have the... We do have mission control, so we can set up 2 missions at the same time. I'm not going to do that because I think we want to see that launch here happening in the first thing. Open Skies debate. A global symposium is taking place to establish laws regarding territorial space for orbiting satellites. The proposed treaty states that all nations should have free access to space. Will improve diplomatic relations, though opposing it will prove popular with sections of our media. We're going to oppose because we do need the money. And that would be certainly fantastic to get more support, which does translate into more money. There we go. Let's launch this mission and see whether it's going to be successful. It's sort of at the verge of being sensible to take that on. Good conditions. That's nice to see. Yeah, let's continue with our launch here and see what is going to happen. I really don't want this to fail. We have no chance of repeating that before the Soviets do. And of course, historically, the Soviets were the first to put, I think, Laika, the dog, into space. I'm not sure when they did that exactly, in which year. But let's see. So here goes the launch. Let's see whether we are getting any positive, negative effect whatsoever. Wow, that looks like a positive effect. We're going to get 1 more power than we expected, and that is good to see. So we're also going to boost the reliability here of these various parts, but as you can see, the Jupiter does have a very limited potential of actually being improved too much. So yeah, nevertheless, we did pay for that quite a bit. And here goes the upper stage and the payload actually. So let's see what we need to do. We need to get 1 communication and 3 data points. So let's see how we could potentially achieve that. We have 4 turns. We can do 2 commands per turn again. We do have 6 power, which is fantastic, so that's nice. We do need 1 communication and 3 data. It would be good to have twice that amount. It looks to me like potentially the best route might be to take 1. So that's basically 2 power and 2 commands that we need to achieve to get these 3 data points. Each of these, well, this is pointless, but yeah, I think this one is going to be what we potentially think about doing. So yeah, let's pull some data here, and actually let's directly translate some power into something over here as well, because I think that is going to give us more communications to work with in the future. Well, there we go. The first one is already failing, it looks like. Yes, just barely, but it did fail. Yeah, let's accept that, because otherwise we're not going to get any communications anyway. This one seems to be working better, so that's nice to see. Okay, we did get both of these things, but we didn't have to pay one more power than we expected. That is alright. No, we did not get the communications. Did I not actually pay you the power? I think I might have misclicked there, didn't I? Now that's unfortunate. Okay, that being said, what we can do is we can transform our 1 data point into 2 power. Sorry, just how much do we have? No, we don't have anything. Okay, so that would be okay, I suppose. And then next turn, we can take one of these comms and turn it into data. Let's do another signal return test here also. Okay, turn one of these things into that, and then do that again, so that we have some data available. I think that's fine. Right, okay, this time this is working, that's okay. So take the data, turn it into 2 communications. Nice, there we go. Take some power, and Jesus again. Yeah, I didn't resist last time, did I? Yeah, okay, let's resist it. Spend some power. But we are getting some data. Okay, so we have more communication than we need, but we don't have the data that we need. That's okay. We are gonna go for atmospheric sampling over here. That should give us enough data. And I'm gonna recharge our power. Right, that should give us 4. That's more than we need. So we can also go ahead and put some ground control connections so that we are translating some data back into some things over there. That's okay. Right, let's see whether that is going to work. Yes, that's fantastic. Very nice indeed. That is going to give us a lot of data here. 3 data points. Fantastic. That does bring us to 4. Nice. Ooh, this is going to be bad again. Right, so, ooh, we would need 2 to translate that into 2. 2 data. So resist, and we're not doing, oh, so, we would need to spend an additional one unless we do this. Okay, no, we're going to resist that then, that's fine. So, what do we have now? 3 communications and 3 data. That's fine. That is doing the minimum that we need. We could try to do better. Let's recharge our power and do some atmospheric sampling. That would bring us down to 2 and to 6. If everything works out. If it doesn't, we'll be screwed a little bit, but that's fine. There we go. More power. And that works out, so that's very nice to see. And that does give us 50% bonus reward. And that is a very, very nice thing for us. So, America goes ahead and puts the first animal into space and gets more data back than we need. Fantastic indeed. And that is very, very nice indeed because we are the first one to achieve that, which is brilliant. And we're going to get a 50% bonus reward. And like a hero. Yeah, there we go. And that does mean we actually do, I think, get the reward for completing 3 milestone missions, because we do have 3 milestone missions, and I do think that we should be getting this objective done. Although it only shows 2. Maybe it's going to take a turn to update that. But that is very, very nice to see. Okay, we're going to achieve the backup power generator in 2 turns, so that is nice. What's the next thing that we need to do? Are we doing need to fulfill specific ones? No, I don't think so. What's on the lunar orbit? We can't do that for now, but we would have to think about different parts potentially. And on Earth, we could do the satellite imaging or the humans in space. Either of that is going to be interesting. What are we researching at the moment? Missions, right? Yeah, okay, they pioneer there. That's fine. Now, what we should potentially do is do some testing over here. Challenging. Task requirements increased. Solar wind monitoring. Which launch with very low launch. It's going to be a simple one. These are more challenging. An orbital satellite with a radio transmitter. So that's sort of similar to what we've just did. Whereas this one is much simpler, I think. We're going to go with the vehicle here. Sounding rocket, that is fairly standard mission by now. So let's go ahead and do that and go to the solar system. I think we can actually do a second one at the same time, can't we? Yeah, we should be able to do a second one at the same time. Although the monetary requirements might be a little bit on the harsh side. So we're actually going to wait the 2 month here for that to be completed. Pioneer research complete. That is nice. So we can think about this over here. What are the costs that are associated with that? Okay, let's go back to research. So, in terms of missions, what we do need is a 35 kilogram payload delivered to the moon. We certainly have the capacity to deliver 35 kilos here in the Jupiter stage. That is capable of lifting 500 kilos to the moon. And you are, well, intercontinental. Doesn't really tell us what you can. But I think the Jupiter one should be able to deliver the Pioneer. We could go for the slightly cheaper one here, which does have more, slightly more expensive one actually, which does have some higher reliability but lower capacity. Honestly, I think we're going to go with the Jupiter. That is going to make it more reliable, and we do know it already, so we don't need to be too concerned about that. Yeah, so that does indeed mean we can think about this over here. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's plan for that mission too. Oh, but we do need to pay the payload, right? Let's actually wait for the power generator to be ready, because I think that is going to give us some nice benefits. So yeah, we're going to wait on that for a moment here. How about you guys? You are just way more expensive, every single one of you. Yes, you are. Right, on the other hand, to get into these ones, we also do need to research a little bit more over here. And I'm thinking that we could do this. Well, the Scout one really doesn't have any potential. And launch reliability 40% and only 1% increase. That's not going to be that useful. So let's actually research Able over here so that we can do these things down here as well. And I think that is okay. Fine. Right, there we go. Back up. So payload is now less expensive. That's nice to see. And we have research Able to, so that's good as well. There we go. There's our little support mission here. We're going to go directly into launch preparations, and for the training we're going to get the bonus signs, and we're going to launch in March because that seems to be the first suitable date. Let's confirm that setup, and that's fine. There's going to be a funding review coming up next turn, and that's nice to see as well. But in terms of research, what are we going to do next? Actually, do we? No, we didn't get the reward there. So missions, satellite imaging, humans in space. Yeah, I think we probably want to go into satellite imaging. The vehicles here are not that useful for now, so yeah, I think we're gonna go for the next mission here. Let's go to satellite imaging and go to the next month for our funding review. Well, I say that, and we're getting an event, International Geophysical Year. The International Geophysical Year, a global initiative to gain more geophysical data on the Earth, is taking place in 3 years' time. Organizers have requested that our agency launches a satellite to collect the required data. If we accept, your agency will be expected to complete this satellite imaging mission within 3 years of the current date. You will receive a lot of money immediately. Yes, we are going to accept that right away. 1.5 million is extremely nice. Okay, we did get to the next tier here, which is lovely. It's going to give us some more money, and we did finish the research there. Let's get directly into the payload. This does have a very high mass. 1,500 kilograms. Can we actually lift that? We cannot. Not at this stage anyway, so we do need at least one of these upper stages here. And they, on the other hand, are much more bulky themselves, so that does mean we'll need to think about a combination here of a new booster and a new upper engine. But that being said, I think now is a very good place to put in a cut. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I do hope to see you around next time when we're gonna get the first lunar orbit, or at least I hope that we do. So yeah, hope to see you then. Bye bye, guys.